need to get me home.
You don't need to rush, because
This is a time machine.
boom.
So pretty early on in this episode, when the robots show up to first take Belinda, a picture falls off her nightstand that's like possibly a mother or someone. And then later we learn that Mundy is her descendant. With the Doctor and Belinda unable to get back to Earth, what kind of role does her family play in this season?
Ooh, that's a very good question. Family's very, very important to her, and it's the driving factor for wanting to go back. You know, something that's in the trailer, so I can't talk about this, is she says, you know, my mum and dad are down there, are on Earth, you know, I want to go back. So I think she's a very family-oriented person, and she wants to go back to that life. They're a huge part of her world, and she wants to go back to her world. Playing
a one-episode character and then becoming a companion is kind of a time-honored tradition in Doctor Who, but it's really been like acknowledged within the series as well. And you do such a good job of like differentiating the character you first played, and now Belinda is so very separate from her. So how did you go about defining her as a character, and while also like keeping that tether of them being related?
I think the writing lends itself to the similarities. So the fact that they're both very independent women who've got their, you know, their own value system, and they're not afraid to stand up to the Doctor. They're not afraid of confronting him. I think those things are inherently in the script. But I feel like what I did differently, the biggest difference is that I had a lot more time to prepare for Mundy than I did for Belinda. So I had a bit more of a sense of separateness, even just how I brought Mundy to life. You know, so this person in the army, they've had a very, you know, you can assume a very, very kind of strict upbringing that's different to Belinda's. Belinda's family upbringing is warm, is a lot of love. You know, that's what draws her back to wanting to go back to the Earth. And you know, she comes from a very caring place. I think they are both very caring. I mean, Mundy's got Splice that she's attached to. But I think, yeah, the way I guess the way I prepped for them felt very different. So Belinda there's a huge part of me in Belinda. So yeah, I think that in itself just made her a lot more different from Mundy.
One of my favorite moments in this first episode is when she's like, why is everything on this planet so stupid? While you were filming, was there a particular moment where you were like, where you felt like you really had the character and you were like, okay, I've got it. I know who she is.
I won't lie, for that episode, the whole thing for me was I am just winging it. I'm just winging it. I'm taking it day by day. So for that episode, I didn't have it so much. I feel like it came to me more in the second episode. I feel like I had actually more days on set with Ncuti as well. So I had not only a grip on the character, and she felt a little bit more settled in my skin. It was also, I had, you know, somebody else's hand to hold. So that kind of stabilized me in terms of finding the narrative, the plot, you know, Belinda, the strength that comes from Belinda. But in the first episode, there wasn't a lot of I found her. It was, you know, why is everything on this planet so stupid? It could be translated in my head to why is everything so scary? You know,
I mean, that works really well for the episode too, because she's sort of as well.
Exactly.
We see that Mrs. Flood is also her neighbor as well as Ruby's in this one. I know you can't talk much, but can you tease anything about what to expect from that little through line?
Well, she's just an interesting recurring person that you're gonna. It's all breadcrumbs. That's she's one of the many breadcrumbs that leads to the big, you know, I guess. Yeah. I don't want to say anything else.
I love the like layers of Belinda, and she's like very beautifully confrontational, but she's also very like self-sacrificing as well. And I feel like we have a pretty good idea of who she is from this episode. Is there a moment this season that surprised you in terms of how she reacts?
That's a very good question. I think there were not necessarily moments that surprised. There were moments that surprised me because I just thought, wow, this is a very, very compassionate woman, and a
Mhm.
lot more forgiving than maybe I would be, or that the average person would be. You know, she's confronted with danger and people who want to kill her frequently, but she just, you know, goes about tackling the situation with such bravery and also just so much compassion. If there's a
Mhm.
moment that she can find where, you know, the person that she's up against has any kind of vulnerability and that mask slips a little bit, she takes that moment to connect with them, even if it, you know, that could be the doctor, that could be someone that she's
Mhm.
talking to. And I think that's just such an amazing skill to have. And I think that probably comes from her work, from her
Mhm.
job, um, because she's always having to deal with people who are hurt, you know,
Yeah.
whether it's emotionally or physically, and people react in very strange ways. And she's probably seen it all.
Mhm.
So she kind of goes, you know, her job is to care for people. And I think that comes from a very innate place in her. So it surprises me because I think, you know, my natural reaction might have been to pull away or to run away. But she leans in
Mhm.
and she extends a hand. So yeah, what always surprises me about Belinda is the strength, but the warmth that comes with that.
I love that. I'm really excited to see more of her. Speaking of things I'm excited for, I'm very excited for the next episode where you guys end up animated. Can you tease anything about that episode, and like how it felt different doing voice work for your character rather than live action?
Yeah. Well, it actually did involve some live action. So
Hmm.
we shot that scene in costume. We were fully dressed. And I remember looking at it on the call sheet as well on the day. It was like, oh, but I thought that was animated. And then we recorded the whole thing in front of like, I can't remember if it was a green screen or what, but we filmed the whole sequence of us. And when we were told that they were going to film us and then they were going to animate it kind of based on what we did on the day, like our gestures, we spent the morning in the green room or on the makeup truck watching Scooby-Doo cartoons
So fun.
because it was such a specific, it's that specific era
Mhm.
of cartoons that they were referencing. And we wanted to get that quality, we wanted that to come across in our gestures. And then that meant that, you know, when we did the voiceover stuff again afterwards, it came very naturally, and it's a slightly heightened, you know, fun way of acting. We had such a great time.
That's wonderful. I'm really excited about that. Like the layers of filmmaking for that episode sound really fun.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much more.
This show lets you really play with like so many genres and like challenges you to have like such a range of emotions. Is there a particular scene or episode that you where you accomplished something that you had never done before as an actor this season?
Ooh, that's a very good question. I think. Ooh, I don't know why. I mean, when you said the word challenge, for me, episode one felt like the biggest challenge because what I learned as an actor from doing that episode is just so invaluable. It was the sense of I'm undertaking this, you know, massive show with such a long legacy, and how do I step into this role and this world without letting that weight crush me, and to for it to be something that I can hold and it's precious to me, but not, you know, affect my performance. So I think in a way the whole season was something that I'm so proud of that I achieved as an actor, because I can't believe I carried the show as a lead, and I
Right.
did that. It's, you know, it's such a massive show that's got such a massive following, and you want to do people proud. um So I think it's might just be the whole season, but that first episode particularly really, once I broke the back of that, it was kind of everything became easier. Everything, and also just being around Ncuti, that he's just got such a gorgeous energy, a warm energy that you melt into it and it's fine.
Absolutely. One of my favorite details about his TARDIS is that there's a jukebox. Which albums would you want to have on that jukebox?
Oh, how many am I allowed?
Let's do three.
Let's say three. Okay. Oh, that's. I really, really, really like. Oh my God, this is a tough one. I would have to have. I think I have to have a Beyonce album. Beyonce's B-Day.
Yeah.
I think Guns N' Roses. Appetite for Destruction. That's
Love
my
it.
favorite.
Excellent
And
choice.
then the third one, oh, it would have to be something a bit more relaxing. Oh, maybe Enya.
Love it. You got a
Yeah.
nice range. You covered the range.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. This show has one of the best like wardrobe departments on television right now. What's your favorite costume that you got to wear this season?
I loved my yellow dress, the 1950s one. That thing was, I loved it, but in some ways it was also kind of the bane of my life because of the way it was structured. It was like a halter neck and it would pull down on my neck.
Oh,
so
yeah.
between the takes, I would have to undo it. It's actually a heavy dress. So between takes I'd have to undo it and then do it up, I loved it. I couldn't stop spinning in it. It was that skirt and I felt fabulous, and having the hair and the makeup, and especially because the episode just before that is I spent it the entirety of it in my pajamas, or like Belinda in pajamas.
Yeah.
It was such a transformation to come out and to have, red lip and 1950s hair and a dress that you can spin around in.
That's so fun. While I have you here, Belinda may be new to the TARDIS, but you're no stranger to sci-fi. You're also in the Star Wars universe with Andor. Can you tease anything about Cinta and Belle in season 2? Like, are they going to break our hearts?
I don't want to say anything. I can't say anything.
In a broad sense, what are you excited about for season 2?
In a broad sense, I am just so excited to see the show and how it plays out, because it's just so, the writing is so good. It's so good. It's so clever. It's so layered. It's so complex. I love the tone. I love all of the Easter eggs. I love that it's this show that's been created retrospectively, but it makes the rest of it makes the how often does that happen when something that's been made that's set chronologically in a different time makes the rest of it even better? It makes everything the end poignant. How, like, we know what happens in the end in Rogue One to all of them.
Exactly.
And you're still so on board. It just makes everything, it's such a beautiful show. I love it so much. And I also get a very, very cool stunt in it. And I can't wait for people to see that.
Exciting. And lastly, just you've done so many cool things now with Doctor Who and Star Wars. You've even been in Jurassic World. If you could jump into any established universe, which one would you choose?
X-Men.
Love that. Great choice. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Sam.